Hey trackies, welcome back to another video. Please remember to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. That's how the video gets to the YouTube algorithm. Share the video if you care. I hope you all care, so share. And yes, please sound off in the comment section below. The World Athletics Championships being held in Tokyo, Japan has been going fantastic for Team Jamaica. We've had a few spills, but for the most part, thrills, and we are excited to continue the amazingness for Team Jamaica. Of course, the athletes are the ones that are going out there and repping and doing it big. So, of course, we're looking forward to the continuation of that. And I know a lot of athletes are out there hungry and ready to deliver, and also ones that have a chip on their shoulder and they're ready to prove to the world that they are who they say they are. Now, we are going to start with the women's 200 meters. Of course, we have the defending champion here, Shericka Jackson. She's ready to remind the world that she named. She's Shericka Jackson, the fastest woman alive in the women's 200 meters, ready to defend her crown. Before we get to Shericka, though, and whether or not she'll be able to defend her crown, we have to navigate the heats. Just want to highlight that the Olympic 100-meter champion, Julian Alfred, will not be contesting the 200 meters. She was a hot favorite coming in, the world leader, 21.71 seconds. She's out, so it's going to make things a whole lot interesting heading into that women's 200-meter finals and who will walk away with the pole positions. But as I said, before we get there, let's start with the heats. All right, so trackies, I will just be highlighting a few athletes for each heat. No, they take three and the next six based on times. So let's see if our Jamaicans will be able to navigate the first round and get into the semifinal. Remember, what is important is getting to the next round. No medals are won in the heat, right? So I'm going to be highlighting a few athletes in each heat. Kicking things off with heat one, we have Mary Jose Talou Smith. Definitely keep our eyes on her. Looked pretty good in the women's 100 meters. Didn't really run up her best race, in my opinion, in the women's 100-meter finals, but still, in my opinion, we're expecting an improvement on at least her season's best so far in the women's 200 meters. Then we keep our eyes on the likes of Bulgarka Takacs as well. Definitely keeping my eyes on her. Gabrielle Matthews as well, the Jamaican, keeping my eye on her. Now, just a note, Gabrielle Matthews is also an athlete that is collegiate, so we have to take into consideration her season. How long was it, right? I do believe, though, that for the most part of 2025, she was out for her collegiate team and came back towards the end. I believe at the NCAA Division One Outdoor Track and Field Championships, right, is where we definitely saw her. So, with that being said, I'm interested to see how she will be able to navigate based on how she has run so far this season, at least her times. She should be able to navigate to the second round, but let us see how things, go down for her. And of course, we're keeping our eyes on Anavia Battle from Team USA, and she's also, the heavy favorite, I think, to take this heat. Now, don't get me wrong, trackies. Keep your eyes on everybody. Don't underestimate any athlete. But I think for the most part, these are the athletes to keep our eyes on. Now, Anavia Bata, I think, takes this race. I think as well, Mary Jose Talou Smith will be in the run-ins as well for this race and top three. Now, what becomes interesting is that third position. Will it be Bulgar, Takacs, or will it be, Gabrielle Matthews? Again, everything, leans on how long her season was from a collegiate perspective and if she'll be able to carry through this late in the season. Is she super tired and just done? Let us see. But if she's able to carry through, she should be able to navigate through to the semifinal. Now, heat two. Now, let's jump into who to keep our eyes on here. I am going to just scroll down the list a bit. Melissa Jefferson Wooden, the women's 100-meter champion, jumps right out at me. So she will be the red hot favorite in this race. As a matter of fact, she's probably the red hot favorite overall, given the fact that she won the women's 100 meters in a special time, 10.61 seconds. So she looks absolutely supreme, goes into this race, as I said, as heavy favorite. But of course, the defending champion will have something to say about that. But outside of that, though, track is, I definitely think that she's shown a lot of maturity as it relates to how she navigates rounds. And given, who she's running against, I don't expect her to come off first throttle, in my opinion. She'll just be dragging this whole race and she will win. No need to fuss too much. I'm expecting her to make the minimal effort to make it through to the next round here. That's my thought process when it comes to her. Also, keep your eyes on the likes of Thelma Davis as well, Jessica Gabai. So Thelma Davis is from Liberia, Jessica Bai from the Ivory Coast as well. So keep your eyes on those athletes to potentially be the athletes that get in from a top three position. Also, you have the likes of Paris Shot from France. She could surprise as well, or even the Australian Mia Gross. So we're keeping our eyes on everybody, as I said. But for the most part, I do think it's Melissa Jefferson Wooden, Thelma Davis, and Jessica Gabai. Let's see how things turn out or pan out when the heat is run. Jumping into heat three, where we have another Jamaican and a Jamaican that has been having a fantastic season, Ashanti Moore, who Kurt said she is ready to go sub 22. I'm excited for that. So right off the bat, I'm going to say keep our eyes on, Ashanti Moore. Let's scroll down a bit, see who else is in this race. Mackenzie Long is here as well. So definitely keep your eyes on her. The times in this race are pretty close. So outside of Mackenzie Long and Ashanti Moore that I'm expecting to take up the first two positions. The other times outside of that are pretty close. So I'm not going to necessarily call, an athlete to take, that third position. Let's see who is able to run there, or execute a good enough race to make it into that third position. I do expect Ashanti Moore, though, to be right there with the likes of Mackenzie Long qualifying. Now, jumping over into heat four, as a matter of fact, given how, the athletes from America looked at her championships. That is Mackenzie Long. She may not be in that 21-9 shape that we saw previously, right? So it's gonna be interesting to see how she turns up. I don't really think we can tell much from the heats, but as we get to the semifinals, we'll be able to see more. But definitely Ashanti Moore could possibly challenge her. That could be a thing, right? So into heat four we go, and we have Brittany Brown. She will be competing, so we're looking forward to seeing her as well. Daryl Nita, Anthony Strong. Ooh, this Heat 4 is pretty spicy. Let's see who else is here. Leah Bertrand is here as well. Okay. So this one is going to be good. I think Brittany Brown, I think Daryl Nita, Anthony Strong hasn't really progressed how I want her to progress. So she probably will be challenged. Probably Leah Bertrand from Trinidad and Tobago will be the athlete here in third. But for the most part, Daryl Nita and Brittany Brown should be able to navigate this round with minimal fuss. Let's see what they do. As well, jumping on over into Heat 5, we're looking out for right off the bat. I see Amy Hunt. She is in personal best shape. She ran that new personal best this season, 22.14. So we're keeping our eyes on her. We're looking out as well. Oh, Shericka Jackson is in this one. She ran 22.17 seconds so far this season. I expect her to win this heat. Well, actually, given the fact that I'm expecting, Amy Hunt to try to go there and kill herself and Shericka will not, maybe Shericka won't win this heat. And we know how Stephen Francis, MVP, Paul Francis, they operate. Their athletes don't need to win heats, right? We saw what happened in 2021. If we go back to the Tokyo Olympic Games, they were told just do enough to make it through to the next round. Unfortunately, Shericka ran a little bit too slow and got herself out. But I'm not expecting her to try to kill herself in this race. So if in the event Amy Hunt does the kill self thing, then maybe Shericka will not win, right? But I expect Shericka Jackson to turn up and make it through to the next round, also have the potential as well to defend her crown. I've been having this, conversation with trackies on the lives that Shericka doesn't need to be in 10.6 shape to be able to run 21.7. And I think 21.7 should be good enough to win the women's 200-meter race. Again, rounds matter. It will be a lot on the legs. Melissa Jefferson Wooden just went into a realm that she's never been in before. So we're not sure how her body is going to handle that. In my opinion, given the fact that she has a 21.84 PB, I'm charting 21.7 for these athletes in the 200 meters. Let's see how it goes. I believe Shericka Jackson is capable of doing that. But before we get to the finals, right, let's talk about her navigating this round. I think she does so easily. I think Amy Hunt will be there. Let's see who else I'm looking out for in this particular race. I suppose anybody could, pop in for the third position. It doesn't really matter. I don't think it will affect how the 200-meter finals really goes down. Then we head into the final heat here. We have Coney from the Ivory Coast that's in it. We have Dina Asher Smith as well. She's also gone 22.1 for this season. We have Tori Lewis from Australia, right? So I'm looking out for Dina for sure. Dina should be able to win this one. Tori Lewis will be there. Also looking out for Coney as well. This Jail Bestu from Spain. Let's see what she will be able to do. She's run 22.19 so far this season. So we have an athlete that could spring a surprise. Well, not necessarily a surprise because she has shown form this season, right? But by springing a surprise, I mean if Dina, doesn't navigate how she's supposed to navigate, then could possibly lose out. Now, a lot of these athletes are seasoned. They will be going into these races not necessarily to kill self. That's my thought process, while other athletes will have other thoughts in their minds. So if those athletes come out to kill self and the others don't, then we may not necessarily see the seeding work how we think it's going to work. But I still do have Dina taking the win here. But look out for the Spanish athlete. Look out for Tori Lewis. Look out for Coney from the Ivory Coast. So that is it for the women's 200 meters and the qualification. We are excited to see how the athletes will be able to navigate to the semifinal round. Now, up next is the men's 200 meters. Now, I hear crickets in my chat. I'm not hearing all that bravado from the Americans. I wonder why. Could it be because Jamaica is now sitting atop the world again in the men's 100 meters? Well, guess what? Y'all have an opportunity in the 200 meters coming, but just want to let y'all know that we have a young and hungry athlete as well that is looking to prove to the world that he is as good as he thinks he is, and we think he is as well. So let's dive into Heat 1, where Team America has a defending champion, Noah Lyles, looking to come out here and defend his title. He won the bronze medal in the men's 100 meters. So in Heat 1, who is here with us? We have Wayne Van Niekerk, we have Alexander Ogando, we have Robert Gregory. Ooh, this is a pretty good heat. So they take 3 and the next 6 based on times. Okay, who else is there? Okay, so those are the athletes to look out for, in my opinion. So I'm going to say Robert Gregory. No, I'm going to say Alexander Ogando, Robert Gregory, and then Wayne Van Niekerk. That's how I'm going to say this race ends. Those are the top 3 athletes. Let's see how they actually navigate to the finals. Remember, they take 3 and then 6 based on times. Now we have a bunch of young and upcoming athletes in this event, right? So we can't really tell how they'll be able to execute on this stage until they do it. We're just hoping for the best for them. So in Heat 2, right off the bat, we see Adrian Kerr. He is ready to represent, and I know he's another athlete that is hungry and ready to surprise. Aaron Brown from Canada is also in this race as well. Who else? Mara Makarau from Zimbabwe is here as well. Sub 20 this season, and Courtney Lindsay. So this is going to be tough for Adrian Kerr to. No, I have to say, Courtney Lindsay didn't give me what Courtney Lindsay I thought should have given me in the men's 100 meters. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does in the 2. Not looking like he's in the best of shape. Well, we talked about this actually, from the 100 meters, that hey, a lot of these athletes are not as good as you may think they are, because Eugene kind of made them think they're the best things in the world, but not so. But anyway, so Courtney Lindsay, I do think he should be able to navigate this run, but as I said, it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Keeping my eye on the athlete from Zimbabwe as well. I think he takes the win in this race. Now, as I said, looking out for Courtney Lindsay, so I do have him in top 3 still. I'm looking out for Emmanuel Esime as well, Aaron Brown. Oh, so Aaron Brown, I think, should be able to navigate as well. The question is, where does Adrian Kerr figure? No, in terms of seasons, best and times, definitely we have Adrian Kerr should be able to challenge what Aaron Brown can do. So if he runs a good race, he should be able to challenge the likes of an Aaron Brown, but it's gonna be tough. Just keep our fingers crossed that he runs his best race. Now, moving on over to Heat 3, we have in this particular heat, just scrolling through really quick, Kenny Benerick is in this race. Jerome Blake is in this race. Let's keep scrolling. South Africa, Dambile is in this race. Let's scroll again. Okay, all right. So I think that's it for the most part in terms of the top positions. Definitely Kenny Benerick, wins this. Definitely as well Jerome Blake, as well as the South African. Keep your eyes on him. But also I want to scroll back up to the Nigerian as well. Ududi, keep your eyes on him as well for this particular race, as well as the athlete from Kazakhstan, right? He could surprise you, never know. So let's see how these athletes are able to navigate this run. But I don't believe the top two athletes should be troubled, and that is Kenny Benerick and also Jerome Blake. Now let's move on over into heat four. All right, let's see what's happening here. We have Christopher Taylor pops out right at me. Andre DeGrasse is here as well. Let's see who else is there. Noah Lyles, okay, Zarnell Hughes, Joseph Ambalea. This one is gonna be tough, 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 tough for our Christopher Taylor. Right off the bat, Noah Lyles should be able to navigate this easy peasy. He's the world leader, 19.63 seconds. Minimal fuss, in my opinion. Coming off that, bronze medal in the men's 100 meters, eager to come and show, that he can at least retain one title. Right. So let's see how he navigates it. I expect him to win. His start isn't the best right now, but we see that he's good. His strength is getting back there, or at least he hasn't lost strength. Let's put it that way. So I'm expecting him to be able to navigate the 200 meters pretty strongly. Zarnell Hughes as well hasn't really impressed this season, but I'm still looking to see him run a good race. Jose Fambalea never gets a good start, runs on pretty late. So let's see if he will be able to navigate through to the semifinal as well. Now, when it comes to Andre DeGrasse, hasn't been having the strongest season, but he always seems to find a way to turn up and surprise. So I never really count him out, but he hasn't been having the best season, as I said. So let's see. Then we have the likes of a Christopher Taylor, had been hunting that automatical qualifying mark for the World Championships, didn't eventually get it, but he's here now. And as I said, the young, hungry athletes are doing the unthinkable here for Team Jamaica. And I have Christopher Taylor as one of those athletes that do the unthinkable all the time. I expect him to come here. And actually, I'm going to go on the limb and put him right in top three as one of those athletes that will automatically qualify, right? So come for me if you want, in the comments all you want. Do what you do. I believe that Christopher Taylor has what it takes to navigate to the semifinal round. Now let's dive into Heat 5. Let's just scroll through and see who is here. Oh, Bryan Levell jumps out at me right away. Oh, Bryan Levell looks like he's in a pretty easy heat. Okay, Charamba is here as well from Zimbabwe, so keeping our eyes on him. But yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty easy heat to navigate for Bryan Levell. So Bryan Levell takes the win. Charamba is there. Then again, as I said, it's how these athletes decide to navigate the round, right? Jamaicans tend to not try to kill themselves each round, and that's my thought process when it comes to a Bryan Levell. He's a class above the rest, so he won't need to do too much. Unlike maybe an Adrian Kerr that will be coming into a heat where he's seated behind a number of athletes, right? So will need to probably run a really good race. Not the same for Bryan Levell, I believe. So with that being said, Bryan Levell could possibly be chumped by Charamba, but as I said, I'm expecting him to come and do his thing and qualify pretty easy. Charamba will be there. The question is who takes the third position. No, Goat is in this race as well. A lot of people are hyping up Goat. Trackies, I am believing that he's a junior athlete. It's gonna take a minute for him to transition, so I don't have much expectations from him. Let's see what he does here. I am probably looking out more for Naeem Jack from South Africa. I'm gonna say he finishes in top three. So it's gonna be Bryan Levell, Charamba, and also Naeem Jack. Now let's jump on over into the sixth and final heat now, where we have lining up. Let's just scroll through a bit to see who is here. Okay, let's see. Little Boho is in this one, right? So I expect him to be able to navigate this one and win. We have as well. Okay. Oh no, this is a pretty easy heat for, let's see, Little Boho. I actually don't think anybody else will feature when it comes to the finals for the men's 200 meters, so I won't dive too much into the rest of this race and just say that this is, let's see, Little Boho's heat to win. Actually, he has the easiest heat based on what I'm looking at here. So he just needs to walk this one as far as I'm concerned, right? Save as much strength for the finals because it's gonna go down in the finals. It's gonna be exciting to see which athlete shows the weak link. I have a couple of them being a weak link, potentially all of them being weak links, and Bryan Levell coming in and snuffing them all and winning everything, right? But let us see how things really go down. Races are not run on paper, absolutely Absolutely not. So, Trackies, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.